Hey y'all, and welcome back to the channel. This is your December message for all you reflectors out there. If you're a reflector in human design, this is a channeled message for you for the month of December 2021 and what December has in store for you as a reflector. Oof. Hangman, first one out of the deck. That's a good sign. Reflectors, I feel like you guys have really been, especially if you're really into learning about your human design, and just the fact that you're a reflector is like so impactful and crucial to know about yourself, because you guys, oof, yep, star card, more major arcana, you guys have really been confused. Before you knew about your human design, you know, you were like, why am I this way? Why does this happen to me? Blah, blah, blah. And now you're like, oh, it makes sense. So you've been seeing things from a new perspective, and that's really changed your life in a lot of ways. And reflectors, you guys are 1% of the population. Like, you are such a rarity and such a gift to humankind. You really have a unique way in which you see the world, and your feedback is so valuable. So what do we have for reflectors in the month of December? New ways of, oh yeah, bringing in communication for yourself. Oh my gosh, you guys are really gonna be, I feel like, thriving in December. Like, things are really gonna be moving forward very quickly for you guys, because again, when you're living in accordance with your design, like, everything gets easier. And you guys have really been learning what it looks like to do that. Oh, one fell on the floor. And there's one hanging out. Okay, let me shuffle these again. Okay, I'm gonna pick that one up from the floor. Okay. That was a hard one. It didn't want to come out. Ace of Swords. This came out for the projectors too. Okay, wow. Lots of powerful energy for you guys in December. Like, a lot is going to be changing for you in your internal relationship with yourself. Reflectors, it's almost hard to read for you guys. This is the first time I'm doing this type of series, and it's like almost hard to read for you guys because each one of you is so uniquely different, and you guys really are like sponges of your environment. So it really depends on like what you're surrounding yourself with as like how this is going to show up for you and what this is going to look like for you. So this message is just like especially true for you guys. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because again, this is general reading, and every single reflector out there is going to have a different experience of life, because that's just who you guys are. Like, you're constantly absorbing your environment, so whatever you are in, what environment you're in, and whatever people you're around is what you're going to be absorbing. So this is going to be very general, but anyways, you'll have to let me know how it resonates despite all that. The Hangman and the Star are the first two cards that came out for you guys, and I feel like in December, and maybe even like recently too, with like November and the progression of November, you've really been seeing things from a different perspective and having more hope about life and having more hope about the collective as well, like the collective evolution and where we're moving forward, where we're moving towards as a species and like as humanity, and like really staying firm in, you know, because this card represents Aquarius. So like, you're really, and I believe the Hangman is the card of Uranus, so it's like, which Uranus is a ruler of Aquarius. So it's like, you guys have really innovated the way in which you believe, in which you believe what's possible for humanity. It's like you've really changed your perspective on your hope and your ability to have hope for the future vision of humanity, because as reflectors, you guys really see so clearly like what needs to change and what needs to be made different in the world. And it's like that kind of has led you to be disappointed, you know, that not self theme of disappointment. And it's like a lot more things have been happening that have been surprising you guys, which is that self theme, that feeling where, you know, you're really embodied in your type and in alignment with yourself when you're feeling more surprised than disappointment. So it's like you're really moving, you're really like in December, and if you haven't felt this yet, like you will be in December, like having a lot more moments of surprise and kind of like shock versus that disappointment, versus like being like, oh, I see what needs to be done and I don't feel like it's gonna happen, or I feel like disappointed by my expectations of what I feel like could happen. It's like you're gonna be surprised by your expectations, and you're gonna be surprised by what you having this new change in perspective and this like this hope and this like steadfast determination towards a higher vision of humanity is really going to be bringing in for you guys. And Page of Swords, like you're really moving into a new way to communicate the ways in which you've seen the world, and the ways in which you're sharing that feedback with the world and with the people that you're here to guide and help and heal. And it's like going to be bringing in these new amazing opportunities that again will surprise you. It's like the world is at your fingertips. Like the way that in which you see the world that needs to be changed, and the way that you see the world in which what's possible for the world is like really getting a lot of, the words aren't coming clearly for you guys, amplification. Like it's really amplifying your, you know, your vision for what the world is able to move towards. It's like you're really seeing things through like the rose tinted glasses. Like you're really starting to see what's possible and how we're moving towards that as humanity, and like really how you get to show up in your role of what that looks like too, and like your role as a healer and as a guide and as someone who like sees the bigger perspective and sees what needs to happen. Like you're really becoming more hopeful about that, and really making those changes in your own life and communicating from a place of like what you see that is changing, and really being more aligned with that hopeful perspective of what's possible versus that disappointment of like seeing things from like the pessimistic view, you know, and kind of like upside down, and being stuck in the Maya of humanity, the illusion that we're all in. Like you're seeing things from a bigger perspective, a higher perspective, like literally a worldly perspective. And it's really changing your, not only your belief systems, but also how you're communicating to the world around you and how you're showing up to the world and the people around you. And you guys are really standing in your power that brings you. You're really having a newfound relationship with your ability to see those things from a bird's eye view and a different perspective. And it's really bringing you this newfound like sense of security within yourself, within who you are, and your seat of power, your empowerment in yourself, and your ability to like see these changes and feel like you can take action towards them and make them happen in the world, and be supported in making them happen. And this Ace of Swords, like I feel like again, it's like these new types of belief systems are really rolling in for you. You're really shifting the way in which you've seen the world, and what you've seen possible, and you're having support in that from the universe too. So I'm going to get a clarifier card for this Ace of Swords, because I feel like there's new opportunities coming in for you guys in December. Yeah, the Fool. You're beginning a new journey with not only how you see the world, your wishes are being fulfilled, reflectors. But be careful what you wish for, because it will come in. So you guys are starting a new journey, and again, like just following your strategy and authority for this, like what this is, like, you know, you guys have no inner authority, so it's like following that strategy of waiting a lunar cycle to really be sure of what you're wanting to do and move forward towards. But like really, like after you do feel that completion of the lunar cycle and you feel like securing whatever that is, like it's just all gonna flood in and really come in really quickly for you guys. I just see it as like this kind of like, again, that feeling of surprise is coming in for you guys, and you're really starting a new journey with everything in your lives, and it's really creating like worldly success is the word that's coming through in what you're doing, and your ability to help humanity move towards this future vision that you guys have, and that's been inside of you, but you maybe had like doubt about. Like that doubt is really clearing out in December, and it's really going to be replaced with this empowerment of what you see as possible, and your ability to rise up and meet it and be in alignment with it, and be in your correct, you know, in your role of it, and what that looks like for you as an individual. All right, let's see what oracle message we have for you, reflectors. What oracle message do we have for reflector energy for December? Get some divine messages for you guys. Transformation. Yeah. Wow, this is a beautiful card. Knowledge and stability. Oh. Yeah, you guys are supported by Earth and the air spirits, and like the energy of earth and air. So maybe you are an earth sign or an air sign, and you're really going to be supported in the highest expression of that, which is, you know, as air, it's knowledge, it's intellectual pursuits and wisdom. And wow, I felt like the wisdom card came out, but it didn't. It's the knowledge card. So like really, you know, applying everything that you know to be true and that you see, and really like getting out in nature, like being supported by, allowing yourself to be supported by nature. As a reflector, you probably know this already, but you guys really need a lot of alone time, and you need a lot of alone time in nature specifically to really ground into yourself and have that sense of stability that you cultivate by just being surrounded by nature. So that's really going to be bringing in a lot of stability and feelings of stability and support for you is by being in nature. That's going to lend to your transformational journey. Like you're really like, I just see this as like literally rising as the butterfly in December, reflectors. Like you guys are really coming into your own and really coming into your role here as a reflector on this earth, which is like power, which is like the not power as in like a greedy, like old paradigm sense, but power as in like just knowing what needs to be done and like helping humanity move towards that, like this almost like humble, quiet, gentle place of power, if that makes sense. And you're transforming into that, and it's really going to come to fruition in December and especially in the next year. So that's all I see for you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me and for being here and for watching this video. Let me know how it resonated with you in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys as a reflector. I love to know who you are because you guys are so rare, and I love to connect with you. I love to connect with all of you, all the types, reflectors especially, because you guys are such a rarity, and I love you guys. So yeah, until next time, much love.